just on that part, I mean, the character that played you in the movie, his facial expressions were so amazing when she mentioned $1 million. And what was the gentleman's name who was your agent at that stage?
Well, he was my publisher,
Your
Bob,
publisher?
Bob Friedman.
Bob. And Bob's, you know, playing the game and kind of nudging you under the table. I mean, how were you feeling in here, given what had happened to you with, you know, no money and then moving back up?
Just the way he was showing.
$1 million, you'd be going,
yeah, just the way.
I'd take it.
Yeah, of course, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, I could not believe it. When she said, we're prepared to offer you, I thought she may say something impressive, but modest, $150,000, $200,000. When she said $1 million, I almost fell out of my seat.
And then he says no.
Yeah, and he did kick me under the table.
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling the screenwriter exactly what happened there, so he wrote that all in. And he actually kicked me under the table, and I was realizing I have to be cool here and pretend like she said nothing. You know, and I tried very hard to do that, but I think she saw that I was a bit taken aback. And then, just as true to form, true to the script, Bob Friedman said that, we can do that on our own. You have to do better than that. Yeah. And I sat there and thought, this man just blew off $1 million offer. And those don't come along very often in your life, and she's going to walk out of here, and that'll be the end of that. But he, I think, had a sense of, how to put this gently, what the traffic would bear.
Yeah.
And I think he understood that the Putnam Publishing people really wanted this book, and that he knew enough about the business to know they weren't beginning their offer. Their starting offer was not their last offer. So he was, a businessman enough to say no, when I would have just jumped right at it.
Yeah.
But that's how it happened.
Amazing, amazing.
Well, it is.
So why did you actually make the movie? What's the outcome for having made the movie?
I wanted to share a message with the world that God talks to all people all the time. That it wasn't something that happens just to me. I wanted people to understand that I really represent James Thurber's everyman. And that if they saw my story, they would be able to understand that this can happen to anybody and is happening to everyone all the time. So I felt that there was some value not only in sharing the messages from the book, which there are many in the entire movie, not just in the one sequence, but throughout the film, but also some value in seeing the story of one person who had this experience so that they could identify with that person. In addition, there was kind of a secondary fallout that I really didn't expect, but I know now it's happening everywhere. People who watch the film are having a whole different idea about the homeless. I've had many emails from people saying, I will never look at a homeless person in the same way again, thanks to your film. So that wasn't something I think I deliberately planned, but one of those delicious side effects that happen sometimes in life when you don't have any ulterior motive other than to do it the best you can in what the moment will allow.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions around that time, because we did a program going back a while now on Sydney's homeless, and some of the information that came out of that particular program was the absolute smell that a human body has when it's not washed for a long period of time.
I know.
How hard the ground is when there's nothing but a piece of cardboard, and how many bones in the human body that can ache. When you were homeless, in that movie it appeared like it was, at least there was a band of people and some sort of, tents and eating facilities.
Because I was
How
lucky
accurate
enough,
was that?
it's very accurate, because I was lucky enough to find a park in just about, I guess 3 or 4 miles outside of downtown Ashland, Oregon, where it was originally intended as a campground for campers. Just as the man says in the movie, you guys are professional campers around here. And I said to him, professional campers? He said, yeah, people who come in usually on foot and stay for a very long time. But the campground owners were generous enough to allow people, if they could pay the $25 a week tenting fee, to hang out. But the one interesting thing was that if they didn't pay that fee, or if they missed it by $1 or so, they were out. He did require that you pay the fee, just as the character in the film says. If you don't have it on Friday, you're gone. He says to me, do we understand each other? Yes, sir. So that was a way to separate the wheat from the chaff at least a little bit, that those who weren't willing to at least get out and do what they had to do to bring in that $25 or $30 a week to stay alive were not were not going to be allowed to be there. But I was lucky enough. This park still exists, by the way. It's a real place just outside of Ashland. I can take you there. And people still stay there from time to time who don't have any other place to go.
Well, at the end of the movie, you went there and there's a for sale sign on it.
Yes, well, it was sold.
Oh, but it still is maintained.
Yes, it was somebody
Okay.
else bought it.
Yeah.
There's an interesting story behind that you might find just unfathomable. I almost bought it.
You know, we were wondering that when we saw the movie.
Yeah.
If you had. We're going to take a break, Neil,
Yeah.
and when we come back, find out more about that, because I wondered if actually you had.
Yeah.
Back with you soon.